All right. Hello. Hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3324 or 34. I'm not really sure. Today's date is 1st of February 2025. It's been almost like a night at 10:12 p.m. All right. We directly jump into the question. Let's go. All right. Yeah. How would you blend science and art to reveal the essence of life? Oh, yeah. That is really like a very thoughtful question. Yeah, it's okay. By the way, where is this question came from? I was actually watching this Leonardo, The Demons of Leonardo. It's a web series, by the way. Is this web series is actually kind of like a base on Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, Leonardo da Vinci is a really amazing character. Okay, yeah. By the way, Leonardo da Vinci is a real character. Okay, yeah. It's not fiction, it's a real character, and the way that he did in his entire life was really incredible. I was bitterly inspired by his personality and everything. Okay, yeah. So I was kind of like a thinking that ki, what if I would think like Leonardo da Vinci? What kind like basically how does he think? How does he looking at his perspective? I wanted to think like his perspective. So what is at least this thing? I went to the chat GPT and asked that ki suggest me some of the questions so that I would think like Da Vinci, Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, yeah. So this is one of those questions. Okay. Now question is how would you blend science and art to reveal the essence of life? Okay, that's a really beautiful question. Okay, still I am trying to understand, but it's like something that I am not. Okay, because let me tell you one thing: science and art are in this world are completely two different streams. Okay, completely two different streams. Okay, they are kind of like a simply very different theme. The knowledge that you get in the science and the knowledge that you get in the art is a very different thing. Okay, yeah. Science does not blend with art, but art blend with science. Okay, yeah. What exactly is this thing? Blend. Okay, yeah. So right now we have like I have kind of like a couple of information I have regarding about science. Okay, yeah. Science is actually talk about kind of like a something stuff that they exist, or maybe kind of like a something have kind of like a something like a proven. Okay, yeah. Science is based on actual thing. It's not based like basically science is kind of like the study of kind of like a things which is based on real thing. Okay, yeah. um it's a it's a very hard to kind of like a telling you all those things. Okay, let me tell you one thing now. Like it's a the information that I have. Okay, and the thought process regarding about the why does Leonardo think about science and arts and everything, it's a complete. Okay, yeah. I'm kind of like a bitterly confused at how do I supposed to execute this question. Okay, yeah, but I'm trying. All right. Okay, yeah. So first of all, okay, let's talk to the 500 year ago. Okay, yeah, basically this thing Leonardo da Vinci was actually almost like a 500 year ago. Okay, yeah, at that time, science and religious means culture are kind of like a same thing. Okay, yeah, same thing. It's kind of like a something same, but it's something really I don't know how do I supposed to explain this thing. Okay, yeah, at that time, usually whatever the things is actually happened. Okay, yeah, means like that rain or like a droughts or kind of like a landslide or any kind of like a natural disaster is actually happened, is all those things is actually happened because of the god. Okay, because of the god. And why? Because of the god is kind of like a something is angry at us, so that's why they are kind of like a somethingly showing this aggression through this natural disaster. Okay, yeah. 500 year ago, these are kind of like some people's thought process. By the way, everyone's thought process. Okay, yeah. At that time, science is not exist. Okay, yeah. Whatever the things happen means like that how the sun is actually seeing, how the moon, how the stars. Okay, at that time people are considered as earth is a flat. Okay, yeah. and the entire universe is actually revolved around us. Okay, in that world, in that universe, there is a moon who is revolved around us, sun is also revolved around us, every star is actually revolved around us. We are the center of the universe. We actually think like that. As also we think that our earth is a flat. Okay, it's a kind of like a something very flat surface. And at that time na, basically thinking about science, or at that time science is the term that I am actually saying, science, this word is not exist over there. Okay, yeah, at that time, whatever the things happen is it's a religious, it's a culture thing. It's not the science. This word is not even exist at that time. Okay, yeah. So this is kind of like a something very difficult to execute some sort of stuff. Example, by the way, at that time na, it's a kind of like okay, do you understand what is actually the, understand the situation? Okay, do you understand the situation? Almost like a 500 year ago, this is kind of like some people are think about this stuff. Science was not even exist. Okay, at that time, doing some sort of scientific thing is considered as a crime. What do you mean by that, considered as a crime? It's a considered as a crime. Okay, yeah. Why? Because it's a kind of like a something not associate with the god. Example, all right, yeah. So at that time people are doing farming. Okay, yeah. For the farming, rain is really required. Okay, yeah. If the rain will not gonna happen, then the farming will not gonna happen, the food will not gonna generate. Okay, yeah. So rain is really essential. Okay, yeah. At that time rain is actually controlled by the god. Like, at least people think like that, ki rain is actually controlled by the gods and things like that. If we pray the god, that means god will kind of like impress on us, and then they will kind of like shower some sort of rain, so that we will kind of like our farming is going good, and then we will get food and stuff like that. Okay, yeah. Okay, do you get it? Okay. But if there is a man who is kind of like a consider that ki rain is not actually happened with the god and things like that. No, rain is actually happened because of the cloud. Okay, yeah. The cloud is actually kind of like a something happened because of the warm air get inside it. There is impurity happened. It went cool, and then it went to the cool. It kind of like a something cycle happened, and then, like, do you understand what is actually the kind of like a something rain cycle? Okay, yeah. When it became hot, then basically, like, in the summer water get hot, so it get vaporized in the cloud. At the cloud it get cold. At the kind of like a something rainy season, it went so cold, it kind of like a suck up everything, it converted into cloud, and then in the rainy days the cloud happened, the rain happened, things like that. Okay, yeah. Like, I'm kind of like a telling this thing in a very rough format, but do you understand what is exactly the rain cycle? Okay, yeah. At that time this rain cycle was not even exist. Okay, people don't really knew it. Okay, yeah. And if the someone person who kind of like a prove that theory ki in the summer this is actually happen in this part of the surface of the earth, and because of this thing the rain is actually happen, is not actually happen because of the god, saying this thing is a crime, because it's actually against the law, is it's actually against the god. Why is actually against the god? Okay, yeah. As I mentioned earlier, uh, because of people are prey to the god, people are literally impressed. God kind of like a impress on the human, and they are kind of like a showering the rain. Okay, if we didn't really pray the god, then probably rain will not gonna happen. Okay, yeah. So it is really essential to be a prey. If I am the kind of like a only person who is telling that ki rain is not actually happen with the, is not actually happen because of the god and things like that, people are considered to be as a kind of like a something crime, because they wants to be their farm is kind of like a somebody generate food from the farm, generate food from their farms and things like that. Okay, yeah. And if I am not letting them pray, that means I am doing crime, because I am against doing this god. And as also the whatever the activity that I do regarding about the science and this rain cycle and stuff like that, it's actually against the prayer things like that. Okay, yeah. And might be god will not gonna impress, because this guy is actually doing something, this. Okay, yeah. And if the rain will not gonna happen, the blame is actually happen because of me, because of that, yeah, I was kind of like a kind of like a have some sort of hypothesis regarding about the rain cycle and stuff like that. Okay, yeah. So at that time, food is really essential. For the foods, rain is really essential. Rain is actually controlled by the god, and the god is actually impressed by our praise. So that's why we have to be prey. Okay, yeah. So so they think like that rain will happen because of our prey, not because of kind of like doing some sort of criticism regarding about the how the rain thing is actually happening, something like that. Okay, yeah. So at that time it was a crime. Okay, yeah. But people are kind of like a became little bit smart. Okay, people are wants to know about stuff. People are kind of like a invented some sort of telescope and try to see the world through the skies and figure it out. This is the kind of like a some planet, this is a Jupiter, this is the Venus, this is the Mars, this is the sun. It's a lot of thing. Okay, yeah. Then we Galileo is kind of like a simply have some sort of hypothesis regarding about earth is not flat, it's a circular, it's a round and things like that. He also feel little bit of kind of like a some criminal thing regarding about that thing, because at that time science was not even exist. Okay, yeah. And people are really associated with the kind of like a some very cultural and religious thing. Okay, yeah. Do you get it? Do you understand my every point of perspective? All right, yeah. So basically, is this thing at that time executing science, like executing our hypothesis or every kind of like a some invention, which is kind of like against the culture, against the religious thing. Okay, yeah, and they don't want to do that. Okay, yeah. So if I wanted to invent some sort of thing or kind of like have some sort of thoughts regarding about some certain thing, I have to be blend that information with different source, not kind of like a something different source means like that. Different source means art. Okay, yeah, means I have to represent this thing through the art, not kind of like a something against the culture and things like that. Because if I'm kind of like a blending my science stuff with the art, then probably it's kind of like a something just people will kind of like consider as a story. Example. Okay, we all those do this thing at the same, like we also do this thing at this era too, at this ages too. What? Okay, let me tell you one thing. Okay, yeah. Have you seen superhero movie? Yeah. Yeah. It's a superhero movie. What if I'm say that superhero is exist? Okay, I have this thing, I have this proof and that and that, and I went to the kind of like a something UN or anything, and I'm say that ki I prove that ki superhero is exist. Can you believe how much chaos will gonna happen? By the way, superhero will not exist. Okay, but if I'm say that just just take an example that superhero is exist. Okay, like would people accept this thing in real life? Definitely not. Definitely not. Why? Because having the superpower means kind of like a something very crazy thing happened na. Like a one person could control everything. He would have so many power. He could do anything. Okay, yeah. So probably having a superpower, that means, or if I try to prove that ki superpower or superhuman is exist or stuff like that, then people are not gonna accept. Okay, or people will kind of like ask me question regarding about how do you get that thing or something like that. Okay, yeah. So if I kind of like say this thing, superhero is exist in the real world, people will not gonna accept. But if I'm kind of like show the superhero in the art format, like in the movie or something like that, people would accept that and people love that thing. Okay, yeah, because art is a kind of like a something baseless. Do you get it? Okay, do you understand na? Ki like basically is this thing, if I execute my scientific stuff into the blend of art, then people are considered to be as a friction, and they would kind of like consider as a, yeah, it's okay, it's a fun, it's a, yeah, it's good, superhero exists, then Avenger, superhero, Iron Man, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, there are so many mans. Okay, yeah, people are love to consume those superhero, and it's really good, it's really great, yeah. But when I'm say that superhero is exists in the real world, then this might be kind of like some problem. Okay, yeah. Same thing happened with the 500 years ago too. Okay, yeah. If I wanted to say this thing that the earth is not flat, earth is circular and sphere and things like that, people would consider this a crime and things like that. No, but if you blend this information through the art, then people consider as a, oh yeah, okay, it's a story regarding about kind of like a something a world which is look like a sphere. Now people are considered as, oh, okay, this might be a kind of like a some frictional thing. Okay, because in the end, reality is Earth is a flat. Do you get it, nah? Okay, do you get it? So this is why science is actually communicate through the art, because at that time showing the science in kind of like a some conventional way, like a basically today we are kind of like a talk about science very confidently, very freely, and as also people are believing that too. Okay, yeah, because right now it's a subject, it's a thing that we kind of like have proof to say this thing and that thing. But 500 year ago we don't really have, the science was not even exist at that time. It's completely it's not even exist at that time. So, and as also if I have kind of like a some sort of theory regarding about any scientific discoveries or anything, showing that thing to the people, it's a crime. Okay, so there is only one way, so that I would tell my kind of like a scientific stuff to the people through the art. Okay, through the art. Okay, so that's why most of people are kind of like a convey their scientific message through their arts and through their things. Okay, yeah. Okay, do you get it? So science and art is a kind of like a something, a language that kind of like a something blend together to tell a story, something that, okay, and that story might be something good, something right, something like positive, but like do you get it now? It's a kind of like a something connection between that thing. Okay, yeah. So this is why kind of like a something blend between science and art and to reveal the essence of life. Okay, yeah. This is like basically humans are meant to be learned through the entire period of lifetime. Okay, yeah. Like basically we are been exist for millions of years. Okay, we never really learn from our mistake. We learn from mistake, by the way, we learn from mistake, but it's just like we take a lot of time. Okay, yeah, to understand stuff and stuff like that. So that's why we could kind of like a something use some sort of another medium to tell our scientific discoveries and stuff like that. All right, yeah. Okay, so there are a couple of pointers are here which are kind of like a something showing this is like which are kind of like a pointer which are kind of like a represent, this is how we kind of like a represent art and science together, a blend together. Okay, yeah. What is exactly pointers? What is exactly the way that I could kind of like a something blend those two term at the same position? What exactly is this thing? Cinematic storytelling. Okay, yeah. Do you get it? Okay. Now there is a one mention, there is a one thing that I wanted to talk about this. Okay, yeah. I watch a movie name, which movie, yeah, that movie name is a Passenger. Okay, yeah. It was really amazing movie. Okay, yeah. Which is actually released on 2018 or 17, I'm not really sure. Okay, yeah. So I download that movie. Okay, yeah. It's a kind of like a something I went to work. Okay, yeah. And then after I came home, it's a Saturday. Okay, so tomorrow is a Sunday, that means off. Okay, yeah. So I have complete free time. Okay, yeah. So I came from office at home, at the room, by the way. Like basically I was actually living at my room. Okay, yeah. I have a laptop. Okay, yeah. I decided that key, let's watch movies, because throughout this weekend I download bunch of movies, so I wanted to watch those movies. Okay, yeah. So I watch couple of movies, and after the dinner I watch Passenger movie. Okay, yeah. This movie is a very scientific movie, by the way. In this movie, like there are kind of like some spaceship. In that particular spaceship, there are almost like hundreds of passenger. They are kind of like a something going from one planet to another planet. It's an interstellar travel. Okay, what's the interstellar travel? Interstellar travel means like that ki, as a kind of like a something, the people who actually inside that ship. Okay, yeah. Ship is like all those people are went to the hypersleep. Okay, what's a hypersleep? A hypersleep means like that ki you went to the sleep and you wake up after thousands of year after. Whoa, thousands of year, yeah, thousands or couple of hundreds of year. Okay, yeah, it's a kind of like a something, some sort of procedure regarding about hypersleep. It's a cryotube. By the way, cryotube technology is still not exist at this moment, means 2025. Okay, yeah. But there is some sort of development I'm seeing regarding about the cryotubes, and probably within a decade might be we will have some sort of significant improvement regarding about cryotubes and hypersleep. But still at this moment, what's a cryotube? What is the actually function? Okay, yeah. So cryotube is a kind of like a something work as a kind of like a something coolant. Okay, means like that. Okay, yeah. Our body are kind of like a something have some sort of life. Okay, yeah. Our why I'm so disturbed regarding about this train and stuff like that. It's like so much noises. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, get the point. Okay, what I'm trying to tell you is this thing that ki um, our human body are kind of like a meant to be alive for 100 years. Okay, yeah. And in this 100 year, as a body went through multiple stages. Okay, like basically from child to adult to old and something like that. Okay, yeah. So our body is a kind of like a always mutate. Okay, yeah. Mutate means like that ki kind of like a something our skin change, or like a basically everything will change, like a basically the way that you are right now after 20 year you are become something very different. Your skin like a basically the change means like that. What is really change? Okay, you are not going to change. Okay, nothing really at all, but there is a lot of things actually happen. Example, if you cut your hand or something like that, okay, within a week the part that you went cut or something like that, it heal automatically. Why? Because of that ki our immune system and everything, which are kind of like assembly work a such a way that your entire skin or your entire body is actually generate within a month or within a 6 month. Okay, yeah, means like that ki 6 months ago you have very different body, 6 months after you have complete different body. This is what actually happened. Because of that ki every day millions of cells are dead, billions of cells are developed. Yeah, millions, billions, yeah, these are things happen. And basically is just saying the whatever the skins that we have which replace all the time because of the internal structure and things. And yeah, I do get, I'm not going to the biotics and stuff like that. All right, yeah. Okay, if you want to know about that stuff, go to the Google, search about like basically how the immune system work and something like that, and how the cell and then work. You know how you are really smart person, you could do that thing. Okay, yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you is this thing that ki cryotube is actually prevent that procedure. Okay, yeah. What do you mean by prevent that procedure? Means like that ki it kind of like a something stop that procedure. Okay, yeah. And it hold that procedure for kind of like a very very long period of time. Okay, yeah. How this thing is actually happened? Okay, yeah, it's actually happened in the real life too. If the dead body is dead, okay, sorry, if the dead body, we put that dead body in the freezer, then that dead body will not gonna spoil, and that dead body will kind of like assembly alive for at least, alive means it will not gonna spoil for at least like for a week or maybe a month. Okay, like basically you could secure your kind of like a dead body for a month. Okay, same thing happened with a fish. Okay, like basically most of people are kind of like a something, they catch a fish and they put that fish into the freezer so that the fish will not gonna spoil. Okay, so basically coolant is a kind of like assembly work as a kind of like a something, it went not it try not to spoil the body. Hey, okay, yeah, it's a kind of like assembly work is actually happened. Okay, yeah, but it work on dead body. Okay, it work on dead body. Okay, yes. In a cryotube is a kind of like somebody doing the same thing, but with a living organism, with a living organism, so that we could kind of like a somebody hold our kind of like a somebody this process for very very long period of time, and then we wake up. So basically, we will gonna wake up in the future. Okay, yeah, so it's a cryotube technology, by the way. And like basically they have some sort of development, and within a decade might be we will have little bit some sort of information regarding about how do we supposed to use that cryotube and something like that. But at this moment still is somehow in development. Okay, it's not. Okay, do you get it? Okay, yeah. Like the information that I have regarding the basis, the information that I have on the basis I'm saying this thing. All right, yeah. So fuck, I'm forget the point. Okay, yeah, okay, passenger. Okay, yeah. So I was in that particular, like I was actually watching this movie. Okay, yeah. So in that spaceship there are almost like hundreds of passenger, they are into the cryotube. Okay, and they are actually sleep for almost like a 200 year. Okay, 100 year or maybe 200 year. Yeah, for that 200 year that spaceship went from one place to another place. Okay, one planet to another planet. Okay, yeah. Somehow in that particular spaceship there is a some sort of fault is actually happened, and there is a one guy went awake. He waked and he realized that he waked too early, means like that he almost have a 40, like a 45 year or like a 70 year to reach to the to that planet. He waked too early. Okay. So basically he realized that he was really fucked up things, like what the thing stuff happened. Like, do you get it? Not just understand the point of perspective. Like if you, like you are kind of like a sign up for such a such a journey that you have to you should supposed to be sleep for almost like 100 year. Okay, yeah. But somehow you wake up at 40 years. Okay, and then you have 60 year remaining, and then you realize that what the fuck was that. Okay, and everyone went to the sleep, and it's like really fucked up situation, na, because you are alone in that particular spaceship, which is that spaceship was really incredible, and there are so many things. Okay, yeah. So it is like a this story was really good. Okay, then it include the romantic stuff. Okay, yeah. Like basically if he have, like he tries so much thing to try to sleep and something like that, but he fail miserably. Okay, in the end he want to die, but he just like he not he like, yeah. Then he fall in some sort of like he fall in love with some sort of person which is actually in the cryotube. Then he was try to wake her up, and then things and something. It's a really good movie. Like, I don't want to spoil this movie. If you are kind of like a somebody person who is like a romanticized with this movie, definitely, and definitely you should obviously watch this movie with your partner, because it's a really romantic movie. Okay, not only romantic but science and romantic, okay, at the same time. Really good. Okay, yeah. So when I watched that particular movie, I just fucked up. I was kind of like thinking that kid, dude, like this is something really crazy, dude. Yeah, like basically the interstellar travel and the cryotube and this kind of like a something term that I didn't really knew about anything at all. And when I watched that particular movie, I just like, what the fuck. Yeah. Like this is something really crazy. Okay, yeah. So basically is this thing, at that time that technology does not exist. Still at that time this technology does not exist, like the spaceship and interstellar travel and the cryotube is still not exist, but it kind of like a but it kind of like a telling us some sort of image to the future, that this might be our future. And I was really impressed by this thing, and it kind of like hooked me up through this kind of like some science and stuff. Like, by the way, like basically the I always being really very kind of like somebody enthusiastic regarding about science. Okay, especially the space thing. Okay, like the black hole, the planets, and then stars and things like that. Yeah, I love to know about those stuff. Yeah. And like basically is this thing that the information that they have, it's kind of like something very crazy and very like that came very mathematics and things like that. But still I am really have really passionate to know about those stuff. Okay, yeah. But what I'm trying to tell you is this thing, that the cinematic experience is kind of like a telling the way science through this art, really crazy. Okay, I wanted to talk about another story, another movie named Interstellar. Okay, I, by the way, I mentioned this movie multiple times. Interstellar is one of the really amazing movie which blend science and art so much that it's almost means like that 99% exactly equivalent to the scientific discoveries. Yeah, the black hole they represent, the wormhole they represent, the time dilation, everything was like so amazing, dude. And if you are very scientific person, or if you are wants to know about scientific enthusiastic person, definitely you didn't really wake up, you didn't really wait for this, you have to watch this movie. Bhai, amazing. Okay, really great. Okay, yeah. So cinematic experience is a kind of like a simply way that they would merge art and science together. Really good. Biophotography and digital art. What exactly is this thing? Micro and microscopic photography showcase the iteration beauty of life, from the natural networks to the galaxies and resemblance the cell. AI generated base. I don't really get it. Now, biophotography and digital art. Like basically I don't know, I should supposed to be say more than that because I don't really know, it's a very alien concept for me. Music and sounds of life. Oh, that is really good. Okay, yeah, but how do I supposed to resonate art and science together? Because music is meant to be art. Okay, yeah, yeah, you could kind of like resonate some sort of scientific stuff into the music, but in the end there is a there is a blend between like a basically is this thing na ki blend should supposed to be happen 50-50. Okay, yeah, means like that the interstellar movie, okay, the science and art 50-50. Okay, so that's why we could appreciate the blend together and it felt really good. Same goes with the passenger. Okay, by the way, in that passenger movie, I would say scientific stuff is almost like a 30%, and the art stuff means romanticize and everything is a 70%. But still that blend would kind of like a something resonate with this scientific and things like that, because entire structure is based on that scientific stuff, and then yeah, it's good. Okay, yeah, in the music it's really hard to say. Okay, in the music I would kind of like add some sort of robotic sound or any kind of like some this stuff. But still in the music, most of the music, like most of people are heard the music for kind of like a something entertain which represent art. Okay, yeah, so in that particular thing I might say, I'm not really sure, but I might say almost 90% is actually covered by the arts. 10% might be associated with the scientific stuff, but I don't know, I'm not really resonate with the music and sound. Like I don't know, the blend will not gonna happen that much like perfectly with the music. Okay, yeah. Architecture and biomimicry. Okay, cities and building design using the pattern from nature, like bee leaf. Oh yeah, that is really good. Still, yeah, like basically architecture things like that would be kind of like a blend with the science. I don't know, yeah. Like, I think I might not have that much information regarding about architecture. How do I supposed to blend art and science together with architecture? I don't know. Scientific inspire poetry and literature. Wow, that is really good. Yeah, these are exist by the way. There are so many books which are actually represent the scientific stuff with the arts. Okay, yeah. I haven't really read that many books, but I'm pretty sure there are so many books which are actually associated with the science and arts together. Okay, yeah. Interactive in installation and VR. Installation, INSTALL. Installation, interactive installation. What's the interactive installation and VR? Virtual reality, like, I know understand VR. Virtual reality is a simulation of experience being inside the cell traveling. Oh yeah, that is really good. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, it's a kind of like a simply blend between the science and art. But probably VR is associated with the art. No, it's a kind of like some technology, na. VR is actually kind of like a something meant to be a technology, and the things that we saw like a cell or galaxy or something like that, it's a science. Then I don't know how do I supposed to blend, because there is no art existing this point. Might be, yeah, but this is my kind of like a stuff. I think that this is the way that I'm gonna resonate science with the art. Okay, and by the way, we have kind of like a lot of flexibility regarding about art and how do we supposed to represent art with the science. Yeah, it's really good, really great. All right, yeah. Okay, I should supposed to be end here. This is it, this then, and thank you.